Looking in.
And we're live, Tabby.
Good morning and welcome to FYI this morning. I am back. I'm so sorry that I missed you yesterday.
She loves torture.
I'm so sorry
She's
I
back.
missed you yesterday, but I'm back. I'm here. I made tea and I'm trying. Sharon, I made tea for both of us this morning.
What is it this morning?
I gave you. I went back to your original, the black tea. And I have my regular ginger and lemon. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. I need to apologize sincerely for yesterday.
Please do.
Because I wasn't here, so many things went wrong, but I'm here today.
Please do.
So I'm hoping that everything goes right because I'm here. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything is going good with you. I hope the week has been good thus far. Today's a lovely Tuesday morning. And Sharon.
And you look so bright and lively.
I try.
You have a special occasion coming up. You know, a little out there.
Sure, I try to put my
good morning.
No, but no problem. I don't have a problem saying it. On Thursday, yes, Thursday is the 10th. I will be celebrating my 10th wedding anniversary with my husband, Cleon Halley. So shout out to all of you out there. It's been a eventful, interesting, and lovely 10 years. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
So I'm trying to get myself dolled up with the occasion.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
10 years is a long time. That's not,
It doesn't feel long,
10 years is plenty time.
It is, but it doesn't feel long. It doesn't. I was actually, we were both actually surprised when we realized it's 10 years.
Yeah, it's 10 years. It's 10 years to share with me. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. 11 months this side. 11 months this side by comparison, folks. Now, I love marriages. I love to see people getting on. I'm always sad when I hear couples who separate and so on.
Yes, I think marriage is a good thing. And I think it's putting in the work. I think putting in the work, knowing when to compromise, knowing when to bite your tongue. That is usually important for most of us women. knowing when not to speak and when to speak.
I hope you're listening. Bite your tongue.
I think that is important. But yes, marriage
both persons just you.
No, well, most persons, but the women mostly, we like to speak a lot. And sometimes it's good to just, be quiet.
Excellent.
And not always say what's the first thing that comes to your mind because you can't take it back. And you give yourself some time to process and then speak afterwards. So that has helped me.
So guys, Tabby's celebrating 10 years. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And we can see all you guys saying congratulations in the comments too. That's a long time, man. Listen, if you have a shirt, I always say this, if you have a shirt for 10 years, that's an old shirt, man. But somehow with human lifestyle, is not a long time.
You have to find ways to keep it new. You have to find ways to keep it new. And we have 3 children in those 10 years.
Oh, it's in the same.
So we have, so that they have kept us on our feet and helped us to realize when we're doing things wrong. Because when you have little children, they're the first to say, Mommy, don't do that. Daddy, don't do. So they keep us in check as well. But it has been an awesome 10 years, and I'm looking forward.
Wow. 10 is a decade, right?
Yes, and it's
a decade. Is now some.
Yes, Sharon.
Wow.
10 is
we maths don't always maths. Our maths, folks, don't always maths.
Good morning, everyone.
We got a lot to discuss this morning, guys. A lot to get to. So we hope that you guys are great. Share the live wherever you're coming in from. Hope the night was kind to you, folks. The good book says the night is far spent. You got to get on with it. So we hope that you guys are off to a running start. And this evening, all things being equal, we're going to be in a different spot broadcasting from. And in the following days.
This morning. This evening you'll be.
This evening. We're going to be a different spot broadcasting from. But we are going to be here, and that's the most important thing. No matter what format we come in, credible and valid information all the time. I'm so happy to have Tabitha here, so I don't have to do all the talking all the time. And somebody's gonna get a little cuss out from the trolls and so on. So.
Yes, it's good to be here. I'll try my best to be here as often as I can. Won't be always. For example, Thursday morning I won't be here.
Amen. Yeah. You excuse Thursday morning. Thursday morning you're excused. Right?
And of course Wednesday we have Parliament. So that will be a long day for us Wednesday again. So I think last week I spoke about what we will be doing. Last Thursday, I think we had Parliament.
Correct.
Yes, so we're in Parliament again this Wednesday. This will be the last Parliament before the recess. And recess is on August 10th, and that lasts about 2 months. So we'll be out of Parliament for at least 2 months. And so tomorrow will be another day of debating and trying to get people to let good sense prevail. But we see how that will go tomorrow. There's some financial papers that are up.
That's a long action. That's the only time we're seeing them, when they want money.
Financial papers are up, and so there'll be some serious questioning on some of those financial papers.
Some say they got some this whoring behavior, but I wouldn't say it. I would never say they got
I would just drink my
whoring behavior. Only when they want money, they come in. Stop that. We got other things we could be doing in the National Assembly. Robust debate and other issues. Only when they want money, we see them in the National Assembly. Folks, a very good morning from the various places that you all are joining us from. Suddenly, you all only see Tabby. I'm not even here. Like, I'm short. I come in my best these days, try and match up and so on and get noticed, but
you look dapper. You look I will say it for you. You look good this morning.
I'm like, I feel too bad. You had all the attention. It's like when you get married, people don't care what the groom wear. You're gonna wear shocking pink, but no, I don't see you. So how's the bride? How's the bride? But good to have you guys here with us. We got quite a few things we want to share with you guys. A couple fancy things like that.
Sure. Let's start our program this morning.
Flying a little weird, should be. Folks, a couple of things we're following in the morning papers. And we're so happy that you guys are here with us, and we're so happy that you guys make us a little part of your day. We know that there's a lot to watch on social media now, but you all consistently spend this time with us, and we try to consistently be here. Tapta is going to go missing on Thursday. Lots happening on social media. There was a big fight.
Yeah, but we'll get to the big fight just now. But I would like to say a big shout out and kudos to Sherrod Duncan. He does it day in and day out, morning, noon, and night. And he always tries his best to bring us the best and the news that we need to know about, the things that we need to know about, and even some things we may not need to know about. But he does. I think he does a good job, and I think we all should give him a good shout out and some extra. What's it like? Shares. What do you ask for?
Partner with us too. That's the most important.
Share the live, and partner with him because I think he's doing an excellent job bringing the news to us in a different way, but in a way in which we can understand it and recognize what is happening in our country. So kudos to you, Sherrod.
Kudos to you too, Sherrod. Children is the hot in the chest. Tabitha, so you were talking about some of the stuff we're following internationally. Lots happening out there. That was the point I was making. But we're so privileged that you guys join us every morning and take this time to spend with us, even though, lots happening out there.
The question is how many...
So there was a big fight somewhere.
There was a big fight in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm sure everybody has seen it. There have been memes all day on Facebook, on social media concerning this fight, which apparently it seems gives somebody who works at the dock was trying to get some individuals who they put their boat the wrong place to move their boat out of that position. So that the big ferry could actually dock where it's supposed to, and there was a whole fight.
It was the WWE,
and it was just from one to the other. They decided to attack the staff, and persons were just not having it. They said today was not the day for it, and so one guy jumped out to the boat. He swam to the rescue of the individual. Some other persons started running from all over the place. There was apparently a chair that was involved in the whole altercation. But it was an interesting development, and I think people are trying to grapple with what it means and what it represents. I won't get into that today, but it was interesting because you see on social media how people are responding to it and the different tags people are given it because of the fact it was really a black and white altercation. It was a black worker at the dock and white persons who owned the boat that decided to basically jump on him for doing his job. And the other black Americans that were around them were saying they're not having it. And so there was an altercation there, and then the police got involved. And so it was an interesting fight.
Yeah, it had to be interesting on the ground, but I think part of the narration that we saw was very funny. It was very funny. But that being said,
but
folks,
I know most of you would have seen it right now, so I was just regurgitating what you would have all seen.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But that being said, talking about black and white, this George Floyd story refuses to go away. Simply refuses to go away. And one of the policemen who was part of that battery of police who punctured George Floyd, a fateful day, recently got 5 years prison time. And part of what he said is that he's not accepting responsibility for what happened. He says that his conscience is clear. He did nothing wrong at all.
But it's the mindset, because if the judge was even appalled by his statement, that he could, after all of this time, not recognize the role that he played in the death of a person. You see how your conscience is clear? Didn't somebody die under your watch? Weren't you there when somebody passed away? It was murder. And for him to say that his conscience is clear, it's like a sickening. That this was a police officer. That means he had no remorse. He doesn't know about the life of somebody, the humanity of somebody, the life he just took. And so I found it galling that he would stand up in court after all of this time has passed, had time to reflect on the matter, even had the time to talk about meeting his maker in the Bible and God and whoever it is. And after all of that, saying that his conscience is clear. I think it's really contradictory, and it's a sad state that somebody would say that at this particular stage, given their involvement in the issue.
Correct. And as you rightfully said, it was kind of telling, he was almost kind of like but the judge said it. Flippant, unremorseful. Unremorseful, Thoughts and prayers with the family and friends of George Floyd. And we know how that particular incident seared into the conscience of the American, the nation,
and
people
the world.
When people say, take your knee off my neck, instantaneously, what they're talking about.
And hopefully with his 5 years, he finds some remorse.
Correct. But that's only some what we're following, folks. In addition to that, we always knew Beyonce has a beautiful heart. This is a woman who's worth her weight in gold. Tremendously talented. You got a lot of people who sing, but not a lot of people gifted in singing. This is a woman who is tremendously gifted in singing. And, she gets the accolades and the money to match that. And in one of the reports we're following, it says that she had this concert recently and some of her fans were stranded, and she literally forked out $100,000 to ensure that the train can take them home. They can get back to their families in a timely manner, in a safe manner as well. Now that's large-hearted. Large-hearted. You see, I say 100,000. You better start walking.
Well, she has a lot of money, so she can afford. She can afford $100,000.
It's a billionaire.
Yes, and she's not doing badly herself. So $100,000 to ensure the people who paid a lot of money to see her get home.
I think that's still large.
It's large. She didn't have to.
One of the things you'll find is that people with money find it very hard to dole out money. They want to make more money, right? You don't understand that. I don't know nothing about that.
I need a piece. I can't have that conversation.
But I heard.
We're not on that end. We're on the other end. Drinking our tea without sugar and milk.
There's that. So congrats, Beyonce on that front. Regional news, we're following some very interesting information because this has been something we've been talking about. Because who has been talking about this? Who else again? WHO has been talking about this, preparing for the next pandemic. And the last one caught us, by surprise. But they said this is going to be a feature of life moving forward. So you're going to have other pandemics. And the prudent governments and so on are the ones who are in the process of planning now what's going to happen.
And the fact is that apparently COVID is still with us because there's still persons who are testing positive for COVID, so we have to also remember that. But yes, I think it's always important. You see, there's the conspiracy theorists, the people that would say, well, you're planning for something, you know something that's going to happen. But anybody who's prudent and understands governance and understands the reality of situations would know that you always prepare so that if it happens, you know how to deal with the situation and not to prepare and then have to deal with the gravity because you have put no systems in place to deal with it when it comes. The fact that one came and we saw how the entire world had to shut down and a lot of countries were ill prepared to deal with it, suggests to us that any government that has any sense would spend some time preparing for any future pandemics if they come. And I think we should ensure that our government does the same. Because we can't leave it to hope that they would, but we have to start to ask the questions of whether or not they're putting systems in place, whether or not they're doing due diligence where that is concerned, to ensure that however the pandemic may come, because it doesn't always come the same way, and it may not impact us in the same way, but the fact that it's a pandemic means that it would be large scale and a lot of persons would be affected, and so they need to start putting systems in place to deal with what may come in the future.
Quite interestingly, what I find very, very troubling and appreciative of the fact too is how the pandemic just laid everything bare. All of the cracks and crevices in the society, all the deficiencies was laid bare. You think you're working with some people until health is involved, and some people were marched out of their place of employment, those who refused to take the vaccine. People really saw colleagues up close and personal then. It's only when you're in trouble then you really see the people stand up, who is for you and who against you, and you have lots of that,
And to me, it also showed how our society, even though we may say we're all one, what people have so many different ways of dealing with a situation, and as a government and as policy makers, we also have to recognize that and prepare for all of those things, because some persons are happy to be indoors, right? Because they're introverts and they like being in the room by themselves, and so a pandemic would be very nice for them because they don't have to deal with people. But then there are other persons who would have issues with that, because being in a room, they would feel claustrophobic and they need to get out. And their inability to get out could make them feel sick, to the point where some persons who are committing suicides and all of those things. And so it is not just preparing for the health crisis in the sense of whatever disease may come, but the other ripple effects of those diseases and the other ripple effects of having to be indoors or be enclosed, or based on however the pandemic may show up. And so as a health minister, you have to take all of those things into consideration when you're preparing for it and knowing how to deal with all of the ways people may respond and react to a pandemic.
And my final thought on that is, you were talking about yourself and husband celebrating 10 years. One of the things that we saw happen during the pandemics, we saw the reports, lots of marriages ended during the pandemic because, I accustomed to you going to work and I ain't have to deal with you 24/7. But when you get locked down,
when you actually have to look at them 24/7,
look at them 24/7,
and then you realize a lot of things are missing. I like your part-time, but that's a serious issue. That's a serious issue.
And personally, I lost quite a few friends and colleagues to the COVID-19 virus. And I feel like I haven't had a chance yet to fully mourn that, because by the time one passed was another, was a church friend, a church colleague, so, somebody you knew. Imran, we lost Imran during that time. We lost Mundell Smith, we lost Brother John from 93.1. So many folks, we lost during that period. And again, it really was such a trying time. But the folks are saying that if you want to be smart, now is the time for governments to start planning ahead.
And I hope our government take that.
Hope they're listening. Hope the guys are listening from that front. In addition to other things, Tabi talked about, again, 10 years being married. This cruise liner out of Florida, I think it is celebrating, got quite a package. I'm trying to navigate towards that in the notes, but a bit so far from me.
They have 10 years. They're celebrating 10 years.
I'm just saying it'd be a good place to go on this cruise because of,
you're funding it.
Because
if you're funding it,
by faith, Moses crossed the Red Sea. By faith,
I wasn't saying no to it.
You wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no to it.
Apparently, they're offering some things that other folks don't offer. Like, there's a free drink package. There's free Wi-Fi. They give you up to $200 back to spend on the ship, right? And there are other things. And they said this is the MSC cruise This is the world fastest growing cruise line, according to this report we have here. And they're offering these free perks on cruises to the Caribbean and the Bahamas. And they're telling us here in this report we're following that the cruise lines has a private island in the Bahamas, and the ships start sailing from Miami down to Port Canaveral, and then they come into the Caribbean and in particular the Bahamas. But the point, a good point to be made here,
is that Sharon is going to
fund it.
What is good for Sharon?
The good Noel, there's now a substandard point to that main one. Is now a sub point. Is part of our culture that we just work a day.
Yes.
We just work, and then we don't take any time for self, any time for family. We just work, and your little savings go to fund the doctor, big house, and so on. And I mean, those people work hard too, but we don't have a culture where we work and we take a vacation and we go and see our country, or we go and see any place else.
I think it's good. It's helpful for us to not just work all the time. I think it makes us healthier. I think it relieves us of some of the stress of the work, of all that is going on in the country. Just to spend some time. I was speaking with a friend who a group of them, they took a trip. They just went on the ferry and went to Suriname and walked around. And so they said it was so beautiful because they never went to that part of the country, and they were able to do that. And it didn't cost a lot of money, right? But the children, they all went together. They took a bus and they went to Purica, and then they were on the ferry, and then they missed the 3 o'clock ferry back. So they got on the 6th. But in all, they were able to see a part of the country that they didn't see before, and they enjoyed it. So it doesn't have to be a cruise line, even though Sharon is going to pay for mine.
Correct.
It could be just local. Go on the speedboat if you've never been and enjoy that for the first time, or go on the ferry and enjoy that, because I think the ferries are actually pretty safe in the sense that they're big enough. You can carry the children on it, and it don't feel as if they're going to fall off the edge as in the speedboat. And so if you want a safer way to get across the Essequibo River, then the ferries would be a good place to be. So that's the ferry is our version of the cruise line.
Correct is right. And there are other beautiful places to visit, locally as well. Does not always entail spending a lot of money to go abroad and overseas. Like Tabby said, we got some local places you can go. And I think part of the trouble with us as Guyanese is that we live too much in silos, People from Monrepo don't come down too much into Georgetown and that kind of stuff, and we don't go up too much on that side and Londoners and so on. We live in silos. We don't. And it's a beautiful country.
Yeah, just take a drive.
It's such a beautiful country. Georgetown is not Guyana. No. Region 3, Region 6 is not Guyana either. So many beautiful places. I remember going to, I think it's Parramatta or Cato, and that they are very elevated, high up. And it was so cold up there. It was so cold. I said the same country. In the same country. Some parts of this country you're going, English sounds like a second language.
Yes.
English sounds like a foreign language. But these are Guyanese brothers and sisters because of the border influences with whatever, Portuguese or Spanish or what have you. That's the dominant language. Some places you go, and again, because it's border, you only see in Spanish TV whole day, and you're in your own country. I remember going to, it was a tongue day in Latam, and literally 90% of the program was in Spanish or Portuguese. Whatever the thing is. And 90% of the artists too came from Venezuela.
It's closer than Georgetown. It's closer than
Georgetown. It was such a cultural shock. But the point here is we could get out a little bit.
Yes, enjoy your country a little bit more. And it's August holidays. We don't have summer. So you have some time home with the children. Go do something on a weekend instead of them just being at home all the time. Have some fun.
Yeah. Work hard, and like Fitzherbert Jericho, who's visiting from Connecticut, have some fun. Hopefully you don't have to wait till you retire to have the fun. But we're happy that Fitz is getting out there and getting some much needed rest and having some fun at it. And you all know once we come home, it's like everything goes down from there. We're rushing ahead a little bit. A drunken driver in Aisha, not a beautiful place, beautiful people there too. A drunken driver ran into a radio station there, and the antenna didn't stand up afterwards. He knocked down the antenna. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. because I think we constantly keep saying, be careful how you drive on the road, but now it's drinking and driving. So now it's not just speeding, it's now alcohol involved in the speeding. And with that,
Correct.
there's no good that could come out of that. So now we have to add, don't drink and drive when we speak. And all I can do is implore people. Like the Bible said, beseech you therefore, brethren,
Exercise.
Exercise, exactly.
Yeah.
All the caution. Please do not drink and drive. If you have to drink, do not drive. Have somebody that would be the person that can drive if it is that you feel that you need to take an extra. But it really is not helping us, because we're losing too many of our people senselessly, as I would say it. And now a radio station, that's not a person, but I'm quite sure it would affect it would affect persons being able to now hear whatever programs they would have gotten accustomed to hearing through that radio station. So, and I'm quite sure there are others, because I don't think that's the only incident where driving is concerned that has happened over the last couple of days.
Yeah. So we're watching that. The fella said the radio station came out of nowhere, and couldn't happen. That's happened there at Cotton Tree. This is Babis. They said a drunken driver, lost control of his vehicle, hit an oncoming vehicle, and an elderly man lost his life. The car transporting the guy who succumbed to his injuries. One guy said that happened on the scene. He lost his life at the scene of the accident. They were coming back from the airport, just gone to drop a relative off, and heading back from the airport. And the report is that this guy who was inebriated, who was drunk, lost control of the vehicle and smashed headlong into them. And this is what we always talk about here. We must slow down so we can arrive alive. Is the carnage on our roads and our waterways. That's one pandemic we have here, is the violence against, what do you call it? Gender-based violence, and then violence against women and girls in particular. That's a stigma in this country here, and we got so much work to do where this is concerned. Just as a man lost his life.
Condolences to the family of the man that lost his life, and I don't know how much more we can say it. And even if you're in a vehicle and you know that the person who's driving is drunk, you should not allow them to continue to drive, even if you don't know how to drive. For your safety and the safety of the driver, you should just pull over in a corner and just wait until things are better, because it doesn't help to say that you need to reach home and then neither of you reach home, because you both end up dead. And so, and to add to that you end up taking the life of someone else who was not even part of that. And so it's so sad that we have to keep going through this every day, of the loss of life, the carnage on our roadways. And I'm just praying and hoping that Guyanese would wake up and realize that it really doesn't pay to speed on the road. It really doesn't. Yeah.
And as Tabitha says, our condolences to the friends and family of this is Carlton Malte, who was the elderly gentleman who lost his life in this accident at Cotton Tree. Folks, we gotta really, really take care with how we use the roadways. And as Tabitha says, we gotta practice all the season. Not to outdo that story, this young prison officer at Swan on the Linden Suicide Highway there lost his life hit and run. Hit and run. The guy didn't even have the courtesy, the decency, the humanity to stop, and treated this young man like he was an animal, and to say he treated him like an animal is really down talk. Animals, because not everybody treat animals in that manner.
You see, I don't think Guyanese have really recognized it with all the cameras that we have in all of the locations and the streets, and so that it's very difficult right now for somebody to do something on the roadways. And if the police want to, they would be able to know who exactly did it. So hitting a run is really not the best option, because you will be found. Some camera will pick you up if it's not the police, if it's not the CCTV cameras, it's some cameras in somebody's house, because there are lots of cameras around right now. And so doing a hit and run is not in your best interest, and it doesn't help you once you go before the court. So if something happens, the best thing to do, the humane thing to do would be to stop and render assistance, especially if it is that the car is in a position to be able to help, in sense of getting the injured person to the hospital then do that, because in the end it's dealing with humanity and humans. You need to be able to look after the lives of those around you. Even if you're in the wrong, you can still help in making the situation not get worse by rendering assistance in these situations and circumstances.
Correct. And they're telling us that the prison officer is one Charles. Let me make sure we capture his name correctly. This is Charles Shamar Charles. Shamar Charles. That's the name of the prison officer. And our condolences go out to his friends and family, loved ones as well. We do this almost on a daily basis in him. Yes, I think so. If not, let me just double check. We hope that he gets well. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. He succumbed to his injuries, just like that,
Oh, the pedestrian died.
The pedestrian, the policeman.
Oh my goodness.
The prison officer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Daily occurrence, folks. Carnage in our roadways and our waterways. We got to take stock of that. It's a little 2x4 country we get here.
We can do better.
Much better. So we're following that, folks. Again, Shamar Charles, the prison officer. Now, this here is the other side. It's the other pandemic, we have the whole lineup of narcotics. And the police found, 60 something? Let me make sure we get it right. $60+ million in cocaine, Again, there's the other pandemic that we face in this country, 27 million rather. They said this was in a shipment company close to CGIH, Jagan International Airport, that this discovery was made, guns and ammunition, and $27 million in cocaine.
That's a lot. I have a lot of questions that I'm not sure I should ask on here, but 27 million is a lot. Kudos to the police for finding it. But my question is, based on what happens in Guyana, it's whether or not, how it is the police knew, and what is the backstory to all of this. And if this individual is actually the individual that was...
He's the intellectual author
of the entire
Christopher
situation.
Douglas.
I'm not saying that he isn't, but
he was an employee at the business place there.
I'm not saying that he isn't, but based on how things happen in this country, there's usually much more.
You got to cover all the angles
than what they put in the newspaper. So
you usually got to cover all the angles. So I understand your own hesitance in running, along with that, and also we're covering this. It's been like 6 months since we had local government elections. Tabitha, Irfan found some time in his busy schedule yesterday to swear in the mayors and deputy mayors.
You see, it's the importance of things, and the amount of the importance you place on things that show whether or not you're serious about situations. Like, why would you have to wait so long to ensure that the mayor and the deputy mayors are actually sworn in the way they should be? And so there was a lot of confusion in society because persons felt that once they were elected and they got to the council, that was it. And persons did not understand that there's a process that has to take place, and the president is involved in that process. And so Irfan has to, of course, make it known that you have to wait on him. And so whenever he decides that he is ready, and I think there needs to be some stipulation in place at how many days after, because there's a stipulation as to how many days after they have to meet as a council. And so there should also be some regulation stipulation that says how many days after that happens that they need to be sworn in by the president. And so it's not on the whims and fancies of the president to decide, well, okay, this morning it smells or feels like a good morning, so let's do it today.
Correct.
Well, congratulations to all the mayors and deputy mayors across the country, and we can only hope that you understand the oath that you would have given today or made today, and that you serve the people in your various towns with distinction, and you dare to serve the people and represent the interests of the people, and I pray that you do that to the best of your ability.
Yeah, and we gotta learn the art locally of just getting on with it. We gotta wait and 18 years now, we try to get a chancellor and chief justice, and still be here and coming soon. I'm very surprised it took Irfan 2 months to get this done. And as we were in council, as Mr. Shal Mohammed of the Mohammed family, Team Mohammed, he ran for a constituency on the East Bank, won that constituency, but in the aftermath of that, you have this very damning article coming out of Reuters news agency, a good place for credible and valid information. Well, they've pushed back on that article that talked about them being investigated by international agencies, the State Department, and I think other agencies were mentioned as well, and not investigated for good reasons, not investigated for good reasons. So they asked Irfan apparently his take whether Mr. Muhammad should take up that seat. He said, well, the will of the people got to prevail. That's something the will of the people can't work one side, because the will of the people elected a lot of councillors that the PPP steamrolling and going into their municipalities and communities and the NDCs and doing their own story.
And they're bypassing completely, because if at the level of the National Assembly, the President, Irfan Ali, and his team could decide that they don't need to listen to the people's representatives at the level of the National Assembly, then why is it so important that the will of the people stand in this particular instance?
Correct.
You don't expect anything better from the likes of those in
Correct.
power.
The thing can only work one side. Irfan said the people elected Shah Mohammed. No contention there. No contention there. You see, it's when you're using the same measure for other places and people don't want to use it, that's the trouble. Right? So I want to congratulate Mr. Mohammed, on his election, and I hope that he serves well. That's not the problem. And he owns troubles with, international travel and all of that. That's his business. I don't have no trouble traveling internationally. But that being said, this thing that Irfan said, the will of the people, that's not only for some people, because those other people in NDCs and municipalities that are being bypassed, they were elected by people too.
And the will of the people need to stand in those instances as well.
Yeah, that's one of the takeaways I saw in this story. But I hope the Mohammeds have always maintained their innocence, that they're involved in drugs and corruption and cocaine and gold smuggling and so on. They've repudiated those allegations, but they got to fight the battle for themselves. Yeah. They got to fight the battle for themselves.
I'm not fighting.
That being said, the thing that stuck out to us here is the will of the people. Because that will it look different at different times.
I was wondering which will he was talking about.
More like the will of the Mohammeds in their case. So we're following that, folks. In addition to that, last night we told you this story. Of the shooting death of former Chief Education Officer Olatu Sam. They said a stray bullet hit him as he was with friends out at the Pleasance Line Top there. That's what they call it. Having some fun as lots of us do on the weekends and so on. And one of the young men that the police picked up overnight in relation to that, his family speaking out, saying that he's not involved in anything like that, and he doesn't know about anything like that. He was at the location and such and such, but he don't know. He wasn't involved in that. And the way, if this family is to be believed, the police has gone about this issue. It's quite surprising.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
You like my conscience? Though? Is it though? Is it though? My conscience.
No, but seriously, it's a case of I don't know whether he's innocent or guilty, but the police time and time again have found themselves in a position where they seem not to be able to do proper investigative work and do proper investigation, so that when they charge somebody, they have enough evidence to prove that they're actually guilty of what it is that they're charging them of. There are way too many instances of them just picking persons up, and then the judge is asking for the jacket, asking for the evidence, and they're still telling the judge, well, we'll come back to it next week. Give us a week more, give us a month more. And so it's not unbelievable that the family would say that there's some issues with this arrest. Right. And so we have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah. And that's, sometimes the best thing that we can do is wait and see. But the way they went about doing this, and the young man in question is Joshua Archer, and his family had a couple of things to tell us, and they weren't in any good way painting a good picture of the Ghana police force. For those of you who didn't get a chance to see it last evening, this is some of what we heard from the family assistant brother of Joshua Archer, who has been located in the shooting death of Olatu Sam, the former Chief Education Officer. Take a look.
Last night, a young lady exited this silver private She come out of the car asking me if She looking for some Kenny show. Where's do air? I said, I don't do air. Maybe it's a girl on the road you're looking for. You could go down the road. All of us that was out here showing her to go that way where the girl is doing air. The young lady then have to walk off. The car that she came out of still parked here. 5 minutes after, they drive off and the truck and pull back. Doors just open, shots fire off just like that. Everyone that was standing here run. When we run now, come now, it's a private car. Nobody had no police clothes. Then identify themselves. Just an open car, start firing shots. So people scattered. So happens, my brother got a shot on his foot, but like he didn't realize he get shot after he running shoot the alley by the fence. We didn't know if it's police or not.
All right, so it started here, and show us where else. Where was he when the car came up?
When the car first came, he was standing right here. The car pull up and stop here. They had on a bright light. He even turned to them and showed them and take off the light. They take off the lights. They still park up.
Mm-hmm.
My brother walked off and come here. Stand up here like this. The car happened to drive off again, as I say earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Truck back, the door open, and there was bare gunshot. Now I see this man, this how my brother shoot at them. All of us was right here last night. No weapon my brother had on him. My brother fire off no shot at these police. And still after when my brother don't get shoot, we know it's police. They ain't come and identify themselves, nothing. Just shot. If you hear shots, Mr. Duncan. If you hear shots.
Was your brother out on the line top the night when Mr. Sam met his demise?
Mr. Duncan, on the said night, I sent my brother to buy chicken and chips to me. Right, Mr. Duncan? So happens, he come home the night back and tell me, while he went waiting on the chicken and chips, a bike come over to E and tell E, look you two squad, look you two G them fighting. See, so he left now and go over to like par them. One other battle, what was the aggressive one other battle, and lash the tall one named Boombi, face. So Josh said, man, nobody want to take all off. I can't control on the yard. He then left and come away his way back home with my chicken and chips.
Mm-hmm.
The third night, my brother sleep home, no police don't come at this place. The second night, no police didn't come at this place. The next day, which is the third day, the afternoon around 3 something, 2 police come here. The jeep was parked down there. They asking for Joshua. They're looking for some Joshua. So we said, what kind of Joshua? The other one said, man, a Joshua thought he get bald. We'll give a statement the other night out there. So I said, man, well, it's not me brother. Because my brother get flat here.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said, must have the Joshua from in the back. Then we'll give them a statement. They left and then go away. The evening, which is the same day, the evening they come back. If you see how them running the yard with guns, so long I think my daughter hollering, traumatize my daughter every minute. You want to hear Mr. Duncan? They said, I even take out my phone and video in them. I said, well, yeah, come back here. So they said I come for questioning for question Joshua. So I said, Joshua, go home. I said, what if when he come and he come out of the station?
Mm-hmm.
Say, so happens, like, do forget me now, do forget me brother contact or what? You can't let me brother tell you that work. You can't let him work for come out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he know nothing, you gotta do your work properly. Because there's a lot of cameras out there. Go and get your investigation and do your work properly. He ain't saying he ain't coming to give no statement because he know nothing but no gun. When he was strike partying, there was no gun. There was a battle problem at that set time. My brother said he know nothing but no gun with what play out or what play out.
Because as you said, he left and he came back.
He left and he came back. No police don't come here the night. The next night after no police don't come, it's still the next afternoon. 2 police come here, so I asked for Joshua, which wasn't my brother identity. They leave and they go down to the back. Damn for the other Joshua will give the statement the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come back. They're looking for this Joshua. I got the video before when I video in them. They come for Joshua. So I said for Joshua for what? They said for questioning about what transpired out there Thursday night. So I said, man, Thursday night and look 2 days after you come and ask for me brother for questioning. And that was it. Then after the fact, one said no questioning. When they go to court the last time, there was a report back at the station where them didn't report. I said, look how much weeks this bike come out from the lockup of the court. Yeah, come in now, but the bike was to come out back at the station. So Joshua said, they just tell you though, because they want if you come out there must have Lee asked a question about what transpired out there. That she said, he going to because he don't know nothing but no gun. And you can't beat a man for give a statement if he said that we don't know nothing but no gun.
So you said all of this gunfire took place here.
Yes,
this was just last evening.
Yes, Mr.
Right?
Duncan.
Was your brother hit?
Yes, Mr. Duncan.
Where
on
was
his
he
right side leg. Yeah, I have his clothes right here that I bring away from the hospital last night.
Yeah, so he was hit.
Yes,
and
Mr. Duncan.
What transpired after that?
What transpired after that is that before going after, as I tell you earlier, after the flinging how we can open a rapid gunshot, nobody identified themselves as police. We don't know if it's robbery, what. Everybody scattered. My brother even tried to run through there, but so happenly that he done already had it on his right side legs. Dufu sit on that fence there and still trying to continue to shoot. And my big brother shout out, "You shooting me, brother?" And I there right here the banana doing nothing. Yeah, I called off all the police right away. I say, I open the door and arrest my brother. He's standing right here. He was here first, then he walked and he got there. Yeah, I'll have multiple times to come out to exit that vehicle to arrest my brother. There was some premeditated to kill my brother.
So that's the trousers you have.
Yes,
here.
this is the trousers. As you can see, this is on his right legs, right? On his right leg.
That's the trouser, the blood-stained trouser.
Right here, Mr.
My brother was wearing.
This is the trousers that my brother was wearing.
So he is shot in the yard behind you here.
He wasn't shot in the yard behind me there.
He was hit from on the road.
Hitting on the road.
Good. See, he's hit. What transpires next?
Dufu entered the bush, right to the side here, and throw him on his shoulder and bring him out and they exit a private vehicle. Reminding you, they was all in plain clothes. And you
can you maintain nobody identified themselves?
Nobody identified themselves, Mr. Duncan. All of us were standing here. Friends, families were standing right here. The police pull up here 5 minutes, Mr. Duncan. My brother's right here when he even told them to dim the light. Mr. Duncan, at that time they could have come out and all this police. No move, nothing.
They just started shooting.
Mr. Duncan, here what you drive the pull back jock car open. If you holler with me that and everybody went to scattered, Mr. Duncan.
So they took him, they put him in the car. Where is he now? He's hit. He's hit
and he's at the hospital taking medical.
I'm assuming he's under arrest, probably on the guard at the hospital there.
Mr. Duncan, I don't know, but when I leave there last night, there was a police there.
Oh, so there's police at the hospital and they allowed you to visit him?
Yeah, I even see him last night when he went in the x-ray room.
Have the police told you anything? Like, you know?
Mr. Duncan, nothing. All these police pull up. As I tell you, we didn't know it was police. A silver, it's Mr. Duncan, fully tinted. When I tell you, Mr. Duncan, I left so traumatized, keep replaying in my brains. Because if you are come to arrest someone, you are parked there. The same occupant telling you all dim the light. Right, Mr. Duncan? The dim the light. Y'all had multiple times y'all could have come out of that car. Police. Nothing, Mr. Duncan. To drive the car there. When the sea go this side, chuck back the vehicle and park. Gunshots right away, Mr. Duncan.
Well, I only come in the country yesterday afternoon from Suriname. So as I come, I remember I always hear that this guy Fufu after my brother. As I come now, we there now, remember now it's village day, which was last night, was the village day. So as I come, I say, man, we go hang out. Everybody there, we there. As I was inside, my friend them come now waiting for me. I was inside showering, putting on my clothes for get ready for we go on the village day. Well, as I come out now, I see, I tell my next brother now, what I say, that I coming out the gate. I see the car there, I see the woman inquiring what some age she's looking for. So I just know, man, my sister don't do air. Go up the road. Everybody keep telling she go up the road. We directing she to the house. The car park there all the time. She there. She air down nine plats. We've named the bird in black and white. If you could look behind me, on the house here, you want to see the camera. The other two houses behind Mr. Sheridan can't get cameras. If you clean them the units, man, I'll shoot out. When this car pull off, this girl was already in front of the car. So me, my friend, we coming out now for work. As she go, after we done tell she well, and we see she going along, she will, we decide to say, well, we go along, we get in the village day. While we walking, we see the car pull up, and suddenly the door open right actually in front of me. I see shots to start firing. All three door open, was three of them inside the car. The three of them, the girl make 4 person was in the car. I remember she go back into the car. She was walking. So the player keep when she walk up, the driver, but you see me brother A stand up, you know. You see this man all the time, but they go to this man, good. If a guy just pull up just and stop and start shooting, me and Alex shoot the guy in front of me when the shot bust off in front. I tell you, I said, do football, is when I look and see the football defensive. Do for defenses or do for win points. I see my all point do for the one shoot.
He sat on the fence?
Sat on the fence. He was in a white jersey with a long,
that area there.
Yeah, because I remember you were 2 years so. He's up on his fence, and I tell you, do for don't shoot at me there no more. You understand me? He's right there, his man, but you shooting at this man, just say, but tell you don't run. I said, Josh, don't run. Josh, don't run or nothing. Easy one will go in there and carry the on the fence, and he come down. Easy one will go in here and jack it out, Josh up on his back. Bring Josh out and put in the car. Drive up the road. Ace up to pick up the girl. The time she was walking. So as I drive up and pick up, I can't go out. They got reverse out back here to take West Road. I said, before I can come in the car, he tell me no. I have to go in front and get car and go to the hospital. When I go to the hospital, I see Dufu tell the doctor go to the back. And I go to the doctor afterwards and tell you, I see Dufu come with you at the back here and I tell you, do your job professionally. Because remember, I know you and I can put you on the media. All the staff who was in there, everybody here was telling me though. He said, yes, he go as the doctor, but he got to wait for you go in surgery. Because they're going to bone doctor and they're going to come down. They can go in the theater. I said, all right. But I said, do your job professionally. I said, what is it? He said, man, you get 1 shot to your right thigh, but it's stable. You can go in the theater just now. Everything all right. I said, all right. After then, when the man come in, we got the hospital, and we got a call that 2 van was back here, picking up spin shell. My other brother video them picking up the spin shell them as we are the hospital. This morning, I hear now me brother them at some shootout. If you can look and see that that camera right here in here, if it was a shootout, you can see everything. When the car was in front of the shop, we always see that the car was parked there all the time. Why he was right here? And behind Mr. Sheridan gun, he could turn the camera and show you that camera is right there. So there's nobody lying on nothing. But I don't know what's the problem with Dufu and my little brother, because Dufu, my brother, got an incident right now at the court. Some gun to come and say the fine a real. No matter going on. He's supposed to go back to court in 9th, which is Tuesday.
So Mr. Dufu knows him?
He know he. It's not strange to he know he. Even when me was an informer, when you informer work, the consequence. When you informer, you could die. Me was an informer, you got to do your job. Remember you sign an oath for serve and protect. And from you serve and protect, you got to do your job. When you want a position, you got to do your job. Diligently, forget the stripes. I don't know how Dufu, them say you ain't cakey. Dufu supposed to wear cakey.
Oh, we come and performance, he have
when I see in the hospital last night, you can't, you get down no slipper, you get down nothing on your foot, you watching him jump in the police vehicle and drive out. I said, but you not going to have to haul upon Dufu. You know, you tell me, I tell you you run. It's just like having those police, you know. When I see him jump up on the fence, I said, wait, Dufu. And they're going to call me. I said, why you shooting at me, brother? You know Joshua, but here was the problem. Before now, I don't know where is it me. The last time with my name, Wyler, a little brother, at some talking and over some gambling. Never me renty, but I get everything. Remember, I'm on the streets, I know the streets. Some gambling go down, Wyler go and carry the station, or me brother, go and butty or put some shot or something like that. You understand me? I just tell you the streets. Which me brother slap you up in the squatting. You understand me? And me brother told and tell Dufu, you know all the gun in Pleasance. Don't come with me with no gun. You know all the gun. Because you friend them and them know everything going on in Pleasance. And like, they don't tell this thing.
He was selling weed and everything in the village.
You understand me? You know what going on. You just stop your E1 and pay. But if they don't left me brother alone, it's not going to end nice. I talk it publicly. Everybody could see me hiding. You understand me? Don't clash. Remember your family. Everybody come from a family. Joshua just happened just saying, Joshua got family. Everybody in the village can talk. You come out to take care of yourself. He's take care of himself. You don't know his streets. Out there is not for punks. Any party wall you go, he's not going to take care of yourself. And me like brothers take care of himself, he's forceful. In don't care who, he's take care of himself. Kind like me. I'm forceful, I just always, everybody in the village know me. They know me by just seeing me, they don't know nothing. I don't really get in the village. I want to go places, you know. But everybody know I go, I school come out. You understand me? If you see shots, them are coming in, they shoot at me, body. If you see shots, body.
The other extra of shots, the other extra gun inside the car, and by the time I'm going to video the extra gun.
Yeah, that's the whole story, folks. Happy?
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack, and a lot is going on in that video. And you could see the hurt in the brother's face as to what happened. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I can't see all it was said was true or not true, but there's a lot going on.
Those are the allegations of the family.
There's a lot that is going on there. A lot of allegations are being made. A lot of fingers are being pointed in a lot of directions. And if the police are serious about their job, then they know what they need to do. But I just hope that Joshua gets through his surgery and that the truth comes out as to what really happened with him and also what happened with Dr. Olata Sam, because it wasn't, well, if you were a Christian or you believe in God, you say there's no untimely death. But at the same time, it was a senseless killing based on what we know thus far. Right. So on all fronts, I think I just hope that the police, they do what they should be doing, which is a proper investigation to get to the truth of what really transpired in the incident with Olata Sam and what happened with Joshua when they were trying to figure out whoever it is that they were looking for, and what ended with Joshua also being shot and in the hospital right now. So I don't know. I'm at a loss for words because there's a lot to unpack in that video.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing right there, folks. And, you know, we as citizens, we got this responsibility to be law-abiding. And the police got to operate professionally too. That's the other side of that, to serve and protect. That's what it means. And if what they're saying is true, these guys just came with guns blazing. I don't think that's the way.
And even if you did something wrong, there are SOPs as to how you deal with situations. Yeah. Because we're all humans at the end of the day, and so you have to follow protocol and follow and do things the right way, and so that you're always on the right side at the end of the day, whether somebody may or may not have done it, right? Because you can't be judged during execution on the road if it is that you found out that Joshua had something to do with what happened. The way in which the family said that they dealt with the matter is not the way you should go about dealing with it, and so it's so much that we have to grow as a country. Our institutions have to grow and mature, and even the persons who are part of those institutions have some growing up to do when to deal with these issues.
But let justice be done, you know, in all things.
Yes,
let justice be done. That's going to do it for us this morning.
Yes, well, have a good day. Sort of a sober ending to the morning, but have a good day, guys. Please stay safe. Please stay safe on the roadways. Stay safe. And yes, have a good Tuesday.
I believe that's the last word.